What if I told you, not as poetry, not as fantasy, but as undeniable fact, that your future is not fixed, that it is not carved into stone by the hands of your past, that the version of you who hesitated, who broke under fear, who lived far beneath his power, was merely a rough draft? And what if this speech, this very moment, is the exact instant you take the pen back? Understand this clearly. You are not a creature of your past. You are the sole author of your next chapter. And the pages you write today with your thoughts, your words, your repetitions will become the life you live tomorrow. So I must ask you plainly, are you willing to write something new? Not with your hand alone, but with your habits. Not with ink, but with identity. You did not stumble upon this message by accident. No man finds these words unless something deep inside him is already ready to rise. And though the world may call this just another speech, I tell you, this is not entertainment. This is your intervention. This is a divine interruption. This is deliberate mental reprogramming for those who are tired of drifting through their days and are now ready to command them. But I must be completely honest with you. Hearing this once will not be enough. What you repeat becomes your rhythm. What becomes rhythm becomes identity. So I will deliver these laws to you one by one, not to inspire you for a moment, but to transform you forever. And if you have the courage to return to this message again and again, you will not recognize the man you become. This is the foundation of all real change, auto-suggestion, the deliberate feeding of your subconscious with the truth of who you have decided to be. And these laws I am about to give you are not theories. They are truths forged in the lives of men like Carnegie, Ford, Edison, Lincoln, and Schwab. Men I studied, men I walked beside, men who did not wait to feel powerful but became powerful through repetition. And you, my friend, are no different. You are not weak. You have simply been repeating weakness. You are not broken. You have merely been following a pattern that does not belong to you. But today that pattern ends. This is your new beginning. This is your rewrite. Let us begin. Law 1, you become what you think about. Every man lives under a law greater than any court, any constitution, any nation, the law of thought. As surely as the sun rises and gravity holds you to the earth, you will always become the dominant idea you hold in your mind, not the wish you entertain occasionally, not the hope you repeat once in a while, but the thought you think about most. This law is simple, and that is why most ignore it. It does not dazzle the ego. It does not flatter the intellect, but it is the root law of all human transformation. Let me say it clearly. You are not your thoughts, but you are always becoming the thoughts you repeat. The man who allows fear, doubt, confusion, and worry to dominate his mind will build a life that reflects exactly that. This is not philosophy. This is psychology. This is how the subconscious operates. Take Andrew Carnegie, the man whose philosophy seeded everything I ever taught. When I first met him, he did not speak to me of steel, wealth, or politics. He asked one question: what is the one thing you think about when no one is watching? He understood that the thoughts you entertain in silence are the blueprint of your results. Carnegie thought about expansion, impact, legacy. He saw himself not as a poor boy from Scotland, but as a force building the new world. And because he repeated that identity daily, reality was forced to obey. Now consider Henry Ford, born modest, mocked for lack of education. Yet he repeated one idea louder than all criticism. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That was not cleverness, it was mental programming. Ford thought about possibility, and because he repeated it with belief, it became the blueprint of his empire. The mind is a garden. Thoughts are seeds. Emotion is water. Repetition is sunlight. Whatever you plant, feel, and repeat will grow. I am not speaking of wishful thinking. I am speaking of the man who repeats a deliberate thought until it becomes his dominant frequency. Thomas Edison faced 10,000 failures, yet his dominant thought was always, "It will work." Because he returned to that thought 10,000 times, failure could not touch his identity. He became light. So I ask you, what do you think about most? When the noise is gone, when no one is watching, what thought do you rehearse? That thought is building your results. If it is delay, you stay stuck. If it is fear, you hesitate. If it is blame, you never move. But if it is purpose, faith, I am becoming the man I was designed to be, then you rise. Guard your thoughts like treasure. Speak your identity daily. Write your aim clearly. Think only that which you wish to become. Repeat this: I am not a prisoner of random thought. I am the architect of focus. My dominant thoughts are deliberate, clear, and aligned with my purpose. What I think about most, I become. So I choose to think power. Here is your system. Every morning, write one clear present tense sentence of the man you are. Becoming. Example: I am disciplined, decisive, and destined to build an empire. Every afternoon, when distractions peak, pause and speak that identity aloud as if your future depends on it. Because it does. Every night, visualize it as real. Feel it. Speak it. Let your subconscious dream only of who you have chosen to be. This is how Lincoln overcame depression and division. Not because he always felt strong, but because his dominant thought was unity and emancipation. Build your mental anchor so strong no storm can move it. Become the man whose inner voice is louder than external noise. Obey the law that never fails. You become what you think about most. Say it now: I think power. I speak power. I become power. Say it again and again until your life reflects it. Let us continue to Law 2. Law 2, faith is the only antidote to fear. If you are to build a life of power, impact, wealth, and spiritual fulfillment, you must understand this law above all others. Faith and fear cannot occupy the same space. One dominates, the other dies. You cannot speak transformation while rehearsing hesitation. The moment you truly choose faith, you starve fear. Fear feeds on doubt, delay, excuses, indecision. Faith is not feeling. It is not blind optimism. It is a state of mind installed through repetition and solidified by decision. Henry Ford was laughed at. Engineers told him the V8 engine was impossible. His response: build it anyway. Repeat it until it was done. His faith was louder than their fear. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. That is faith. Eyes fixed, belief repeated, action aligned even when unseen. Edison failed 10,000 times, yet said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. He refused to speak fear. Lincoln lost elections, battled depression, faced betrayal, yet held faith in unity and emancipa. In the darkest days, he wrote affirmations to himself because he knew fear in the mind would paralyze the nation. The best way to predict the future is to create it. That is faith, creation through repeated belief. Now you, when fear whispers, do you answer with belief? Make faith your default through 3 rituals. Declare your vision daily as law. Act before you feel ready. Action builds evidence. Refuse to speak fear. Every word trains the mind. Say this: faith is identity. I move before I feel ready. I trust before I see. I act, build, and win in faith. Carnegie told me, teach men to replace fear with faith, and they will build anything. Fear does not leave with time or research. It leaves when replaced by repeated belief and decisive action. From today, I will not obey fear. I will act in faith. I will speak belief. I will move like a man who has already won. Repeat daily. Once your subconscious accepts this, nothing can stop you. Law 3, the law of definite chief aim. There is no greater tragedy than a man of potential drifting in thought, effort, identity. He wakes with distraction, walks with confusion, speaks with hesitation. He becomes a leaf in the wind, ruled by fear, forgotten by history. But the man with a definite chief aim who repeats it daily is dangerous. He is focused, immune to drift. The world bends to his decision. Carnegie taught me this directly. A person without one definite purpose falls prey to worries, fears, and failure. His aim was not just wealth, it was to revolutionize steel and bring order to industry. Every decision served that aim. Ford's aim, make the automobile affordable for every working man. That focus built dominance. Schwab's clarity made him invaluable. You do not need 1,000 goals, one dominating aim, all others subordinate. Most men set goals that shift with mood, lose fire, settle for safety, because they never installed a definite chief aim. The subconscious defaults to comfort without precision. Your method, write your chief aim in present tense. Repeat it with emotion morning and night. Act daily in alignment. Your life is shaped by a definite chief aim or by others' agendas. No middle ground. Say this, I do not drift. I declare. I do not react. I aim. I know what I am building. They were not more gifted. They were more focused. Now you have no excuse. Write it. Breathe it. Build around it. The man with clarity, fire, and discipline becomes impossible to stop. Law 4. The law of specialized knowledge. General knowledge brings general results. Specialized knowledge combined with purpose and action is unstoppable. Knowledge is not power. Applied, focused, specialized knowledge is power. A man can collect facts his whole life and remain mediocre because his knowledge is scattered. But the man who chooses one domain, studies it obsessively, applies it daily, becomes irreplaceable. Ford was mocked for lack of education, yet said, I don't need to clutter my mind with facts I can summon from men I hire. He mastered what mattered for his vision. Edison dived deep into electrical systems and materials, not broad but deep. Schwab mastered leadership and organization. The average man reads randomly, scatters energy. The great man chooses one mountain and climbs it until mastery becomes instinct. Carnegie's blueprint, define your chief aim. List required knowledge. Build a focused reading list, 5 to 10 key books studied to install. Teach what you learn. Apply daily. Lincoln mastered language, oratory, law, scripture to move hearts and nations. Stop skimming. Choose your field. Burn away everything else. Say this, I am not a generalist, I am a weapon. I build mastery. My knowledge is deep, rare, powerful. The world rewards those who know exactly what they're doing and do it. Better than anyone. Law 5, surround yourself with power. No man becomes powerful in isolation. You rise with minds that breathe power into your vision, or fall with those who drain it. Environment is not neutral. It builds or breaks. Surround yourself with people who sharpen you, speak possibility, challenge comfort. If you are the most driven in the room, you are in the wrong room. What surrounds you soon lives inside you. Ford built a mastermind with Edison, Firestone, Burbank, belief multiplied. Carnegie said, show me a man's 5 closest associates and I'll show you his future. He chose men of spirit and hunger. Edison removed cynicism from his lab. It was a temple of belief. Protect your atmosphere, books, voices, inputs. If soaked in power, you breathe power. If polluted, you drown. Build your mastermind, people, books, discipline. Say this, I do not allow weakness in my circle. I do not breathe average. I seek alignment. Lincoln retreated to confidants of conviction. Raise your environment or be crushed by weakness. I walk with power. I build my circle on fire. Law 6, speak as if it's already done. Before your future becomes reality, it becomes vocabulary. Before you become powerful, you speak power. Language shapes destiny. There is the language of kings and the language of prisoners. Speak as if victory is already yours, not maybe, not one day, but now. Your subconscious obeys tone and repetition. Ford, build it anyway. Edison, I have not failed. Carnegie repeated his aim aloud daily until it became identity. Silence feeds doubt. Speech fuels belief. Become militant about self-talk. Say, I am the man who finishes. I do not flinch. I walk as if the mountain has moved. Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, 272 words that rewrote history with fire. Stop whispering dreams. Stop softening your future. Speak belief until the world believes with you. Write your future as done. Speak identity as law. When doubt rises, raise your voice. I am the man who speaks power. I live power. My voice builds my world. Law 7, move like fire. Belief without movement dies in hesitation. Act like fire, now, not tomorrow, not when ready. Motion kills fear. Ford moved without perfect conditions. Edison acted after every failure. Schwab decided fast and bold. Confidence is the result of action, not the prerequisite. Delay is a lie. Greatness is forged in decision. Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation against advice. History changed because one man moved. Fire does not ask permission. It ignites and spreads. Say this: I do not delay. I act as if it's done. I train my mind through motion. The more you move, the more power you access. Law 8, train the mind. Master your inner language. Your courage, hesitation, decisions, all come from the words you whisper to yourself. The most dangerous man controls his inner dialogue. Carnegie repeated, I must, while others said, I can't. Ford spoke solutions. Edison reframed failure. Lincoln disciplined his mind through affirmations. Speak what you want to become. Say, I do not speak weakness. I install power. I rehearse identity. Your subconscious records repeated charged language. Discipline your speech. Write and speak affirmations daily with emotion. This is how giants rewrote their story. Declare your new identity before the world offers the old one. In 30 days of this, your world shifts. Law 9, command your time. If you do not master time, you master nothing. Time is the canvas of destiny. Carnegie structured days precisely. Ford carved time for deep thinking. Edison timed output. Schwab used the rule of 6. Lincoln claimed hours for solitude amid war. Design your day. Silence and affirmation. Deep work, execution, reflection, reading. Track every hour. Say, I am the commander of my time. My calendar is my shield. No hour is random. A man who owns his time owns his life. Law 10, kill the old identity and rise into power. Improvement is not enough. You must become someone else entirely. The old identity, the one who delays, doubts, shrinks, must die. You are addicted to him, but he pulls you to comfort. Comfort is prison. Legends are built in fire. Lincoln killed the part that feared criticism and issued emancipation. Carnegie killed the poor boy and became the steel king. Ford killed doubt and changed transportation. Act, speak, decide as the new man. Repeat until the old self starves. Ritual every morning declare, I am decisive, disciplined, the man who wins. When old voice rises, that man is dead. I have decided. Doubt is habit. Break it with violent rejection of the old self. Say, I am no longer the man who doubts. I walk in identity. I repeat power until weakness dies. The man who wins is already inside you. Let him rise. Now we end where true power begins, with the pen in your hand. Yuma. Think your story is written, that mistakes set a ceiling, that patterns are permanent. But you are not broken. You are unwritten. Every delay, doubt, fear was preparation, the tension before breakthrough. This moment is the pen. You are the author, no one else. So what will you write? Will you continue the chapter where fear dictates, doubt chooses words, hesitation holds the pen? Or will you declare, this is the chapter where I become untouchable? These 10 laws are your new rules of identity. Identity is written in repetition. Repeat this speech, these laws, this belief until your subconscious knows no other way. Carnegie rehearsed power daily. Ford repeated belief until inevitable. Edison repeated action until success. Lincoln chose identity until history bent. Now your turn. Morning, speak one law. Night, play this speech, no skips. Rehearse power, reject doubt. Write this, I am not broken, I am unwritten. The past was preparation. I choose next. I repeat power. I am the author. You are here to rewrite history. Return to this like a warrior to his weapon, daily, faithfully. When you forget who you are, play it again. The man who repeats power becomes power. Say it final, I am the rewrite. This is my chapter. This is my new law. I repeat it until I become it. Close the old book. Pick up the pen. Write the next version of yourself with fire, faith, and without apology. Let the world witness the rewrite. It begins now.